Hello, we are here for one more lesson of this T-Flex CAD training course, and the topic for today will be product structure. So the idea of this lesson is to talk a little about this organization of the product structure when we are creating or when we need to create bills of materials. This is a topic that usually users link or think a little more when we are dealing with 3D assemblies. But in fact, in T-Flex we can deal with 2D assemblies and generate bills of materials from these 2D assemblies. We still will return to the topic when a little later in this training course when we talk about the 3D assemblies and how to take information out of them. But today in this lesson we will see a little about the concept of how can a user work with this. So to show you a couple of functions, I will create two drawings. So these are things that we talked about already, so I'm making a very simple drawing. Now I will save it and I will give it a name that we can identify, so circle. I will create a new one. In this particular case I will make a square so that we can identify one and the other. So also making a couple of graphic lines, and now save it also, so square, and we'll make a third drawing that I will use to create my assembly. Before I will insert the fragments, so I will call both of the drawings, or in this particular case the fragments. No worries about the place or how to insert them, okay? So simply insert them. Now I will save the assembly. One error on the name, assembly, and okay, we are done. So what we can do now first is coming to this bills of material menu, and then we have a function here called product structure window, which open this dialog box. It open also this function here, which are what they call the parameters window. And the first thing we can do at this moment, we have the two inserted fragments, is to see included fragments. So you see fragments are 2D entities in this particular case. I can choose to exclude or not some of them. So let us confirm this and do update all. So I have the fragments here. So in below here I have all the fragments that compose my assembly. No fragments have some characteristics, some informations. I can choose one and I have a list of what the fragment has. One particular and interesting thing in this, it is the possibility to choose a fragment graphically or from the list and simply say, sorry, not well done, open, and I can open my fragment, okay. I can come also to my product structure window, choose it, and let's open this a little more, and I can, for example, give it a name. I will call it square. So, and now if I save it, I can return to my assembly. Okay, I have information that I need to update it, and to see it gain a name. One other very interesting thing that I can see in my this area product structure is that I can split or organize my elements by groups. Okay, I can create new groups of items, of parts, and I can organize them also under this list of things. So circle or the square in particular, I can say that it will make part of, for example, military standard parts. Okay, good. Save it again also, and going to the assembly again, new information, and the square. Okay, I have this military group of things, so I can come somewhere around here. I never. Okay, and I can do a kind of a filter by groups of things. Okay, so I have one normal part, no group, and I have another one that makes part of this military standard. For sure, I can do the same with the circle. I can give it a name also, circle, and I can put it on another commercial part. Okay, save it, going to the assembly, and okay, I have now two different groups. This is the kind of information that we can organize and work around in the assembly. Save the assembly. So the boom sections. Okay, I've seen that I can create this kind of organization. I can see the included fragments if they are 2D or 3D. And I can create the bill of materials, so I can go into new. I have a couple of templates to use, so you can see a couple of them later in this course, as I told you. I will show you how to deal with this, to configure new bills of materials or this kind of information. For example, we can create a materials list. You have a couple of topics for this moment, not very important in terms of hierarchy and the template files to use and so on. I can choose, for example, location on the existing page or creating a new one, or even on a new document. But for now, simply go and say create. I don't have nodes for position, so just do the OK. And I suppose it should be done, but not very good. Let us delete this. Okay, and create a new one. The easiest one is bill of materials with the same standards. So create. Okay, now this one has information, and basically the information are the informations that we've been working with. If I go in some of them and say take out these, and I don't want any, so just taking out and say nothing, for example, or changing the name. Okay, whatever. If I do the save, I go to the assembly. I will update my assembly, and I can update all. It updates here, but I need to go to the regenerate, full regeneration, also product structure, links, reports, bills of material, everything. So just do the OK, and OK, the update, it is done. Okay, this is quite easy. I can also I can make an edition, for example, of this document. If I say simply edit text or edit in dialog, so I can come here and say fulfill or edit whatever I have. Okay, no problem. So no, I can save like a text or I can do simply an OK and it is done. And I can do one more interesting thing about the assemblies, which are called the callouts. Okay, it is important also when we have the assembly to identify with some balloons. Usually you see balloons, but we can make the proper word is a callout with a number identifying the number of the part. So I can, for example, I can choose in my list one of the fragments. If I go to callout, now I can put the callout and I have my part number 2. Okay, and the same could be done to my part circle. So not very difficult. Okay. But I can do this in automatic mode. If I go to callouts, then create all callouts, select all elements, confirm, and I can do something like this. This is the middle of the fragment, and we can make all of these callouts also more or less automatic. So I think for these work as a user, it is explained how to deal with the bills of materials. So we will return to this topic later about the configurations of these windows, of these elements, better say. When we look on the 3D, I think it's easier for understanding, because we are creating elements that are more visible and more understandable in terms of the assemblies. Besides this, we've done the same procedure with other softwares. When we finish all the lessons of this training course, we will publish also some examples in terms of assemblies to show all of these steps and to show how to work with these and to take advantage of these functionalities. Nevertheless, if there are some topics not so well understood or not so well explained by us in this video, you can contact us through the usual channels, and we will support you in your questions or in something that you may need help.